Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science and Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about top DIY computer projects part 2. I got a lot of requests in part 1 to make part 2, so here's part 2. So DIY basically means do it yourself, meaning if you want something that is not available or mass produced or region locked, meaning you can't get it where you are, many times people just go Thanos on it and it's just like, fine, I'll do it myself. You make it yourself. For example, in my case, again, my project was very simple, child's play. It was that I did not like the fume extractors that were available. The cheap ones that I could afford, they were just useless, and the expensive one that could work were price of a kidney. So I was like, yeah, what to do? Well, I was like, what if I make it ourselves? So I started with this, and hilariously enough, it does work. Basically, when I'm soldering, I use it, and there is no basically fume issue and headaches and all that. So it does work. So that's the good part. Basically, you have an issue, you solve it, you Thanos it, meaning. And let that be very clear, you do need a bit of touch of madness, so to say. It's not regular thinking process where it's like, okay, I want this laptop, and I'm like, okay, it's not available. Why not? Let me make it. It's like, that's not a normal process. So you do need a bit of touch of madness, and you must be good at finding things, because here's the deal. Whenever you are working with something, when you are in it, be it all the YouTubers who are good makers, they have a lot of prerequisite information about that field. Whereas, like, let's just say I'm working with fans. I'm like, somebody says, oh yeah, PWM duty below 2%, it will go to 0 dB. I'm like, I understand what he said. That simply means the PWM symbol, that is 0 to 5 volt, if sent to the 4-pin PWM fans, will trigger a 0 dB mode, which means fan will stop. Again, it's not available in every computer fan, but many new ones do. So I know this. I'll just talk about it when I'm making a video about it, but you might be like, okay, what the hell he talked about? You have to be good enough to find it. If you're not, you may not have that touch of madness, so to say. You basically, even if you're saying just, because again, whenever we are trying to showcase something, there's always an issue where it's like, how much do I share? Because again, it may be years of work that they had put into it in order to reach a point where they can make it. Right, that guy that I showed about who's made a laptop, he was like, yeah, I spent years, like, making this project, making that project. All of them created a skill tree that he could use to make a more complex project. So that skill tree is missing for you. So you have to be good enough to find those missing elements. If you can do that, you're good. And patience is key, because even a small one, especially most of us do not have the luxury of like, this is what we are doing, right? So you have to be in a scenario where it's like, okay, I'm doing my job, and then I have some amount of free time. I'm chipping away at it every day. Now, free times always have some condition applied, because some days you'll be like, fine, for this 1 week you got all of the second shift work without too much issue. But there will be times where, like, for months you are so over occupied that you do not even get single second of time. So in those sort of scenario, patience is key. If you leave it at that point in time, nope, nothing will happen. And trust me, whatever your expected time frame is, where it's like, okay, this is going to be done in 1 weekend, yeah, it's going to take a month. So you have to have patience. Otherwise, yeah, it's never going to finish. Another aspect is you need either a lot of money, brain, or both. So basically, most of us are not Tony Stark level, so you have to compensate. Either have a lot of money, lot of time, or just a lot of grit, touch of madness, so to say. And if you are in a place where it's like, how do I find people like this, because the project is bigger than a single person, try finding your nearest maker space. Trust me, a lot of people go into maker space, and you may find some good friends there that could help you out. So that's why DIY is a very big community, like a really globally big community. So my first project is the triple screen laptop. Now this puppy. Now, because again, when you are frustrated with something, you have to understand other people are locked. But when you are making it, you are not locked. So the first thing he looked into is like, okay, most of the time people use a laptop as a thing. Like, it's a thing, it's a computer, I'm working on it. Especially if you are working multiple hours. The moment you try to do that, you will realize the biggest problem of laptop is that it hurts your neck. It's not comfortable to do like this. So laptop simply means a battery powered computer. It does not by law means that it has to sit in your lap. Like, if it works, you're fine. So he's like, okay, what other option do we have? So other option is, what if you just made a laptop and you had two other smaller screens and it stands? Now, why should it stand? So it becomes eye level to you, so you can work for hours without fatiguing yourself. So that does matter. And again, because it's an actual laptop, battery powered laptop, you can just carry it to wherever you need to. Let's say carry from office, carry to home, carry your, if you, there are some people who have to travel a lot, have fun with it. So that's the whole point. And imagine having a tall monitor with two extra HD monitors, basically more than HD monitors. The benefit of that is many companies have tried to make that fold out 3 monitors. Razer tried it one time. Other companies, Kickstarter created a scams with another time. There was one company that actually shipped a product that was okay, but not great. And again, the problem is your main monitor is at angle. So if you flip it out because of the mechanism, it will always be like your neck is going in an arc, not comfortable. So it's like you must stand it up, only then you can have a true multi-monitor experience, right? I don't even recall when was the time when I was working on single monitor. Like when I got into this institute, and like my institute had dual monitor, I was learning 3D game artist at that point in time. So from there on, like I've never been working on a single monitor system. So going back to laptops is like, eesh, difficult. So what if you have two of them? And then another problem is like you can easily find big displays, quite high resolution, meaning 4K, HDR, 120 Hertz, no problem, take it and go. Not even ludicrously expensive. But if you want smaller monitors, and the reason why he wanted smaller monitors is like simply so he can fold it without overlapping it. Again, that's the benefit of DIY. He had the luxury. It's like, why do we need that, like, all 3 monitors to be same size? If it's same enough ratio or close enough, where it's like, it's close enough. So the idea is iPad screen was like small enough where it can just fold it, and the length of iPad screen was the equivalent of width or height of this one. So ratio was close enough where you can, and again, iPod replacement screens are iPod screens. So they are actually good. iPad, sorry, why I'm saying iPad screens, they're actually good. Apple Retina display. So can you get smaller display with higher resolution? Of course you can do that, but you have to place bulk order. So as a DIYer, you can't do that. But as a person who's just like, hey, let me look into the relative shape and sizes, like, tada, this tablet had this, so just look for its replacement. Done. So he did that. And his unique selling point is that he never actually goes too deep into it. He's not like, I'm going to go into there, I'm going to make the motherboard and then I'm going to program the battery charging circuit. No, he always assembles the part. And his core selling point is the design he puts into it, thoughtful process put into it. So that's why it looks like so like jumbled together, even though it's made out of a laptop parts. For example, the battery is from framework, the motherboard and everything is from framework. So even with this, it looks such a janky inside is simply because he's just putting things together. It's not like that guy where it's like, okay, I'm going to use EDP with a proper display. I'm like, that's a very big ask. He's just like, okay, USB to HDMI, take it and go. So that's a very big thing. And iPad displays, again, created an issue where you needed a lot of sub-circuitry in order to drive those things. So it's a very unique and useful project. So people who travel a lot and want to work on a laptop kind of device, this is a really good system. He has other design options also, but this one was the best actually useful tool that I've seen. And the fact that you can just buy the products, just like buy it. Nothing in his design, most things are just aluminum, cutting them together, bonding them together, sanding them together. It's like it's putting things together smartly. That's how he gets all the design work done. So really useful idea, DIY projects. Then we come to this guy. So this guy went a bit wide. So I'm like hyper wide, not ultra wide, hyper wide. So it's like ultra wide dual screen system. Basically, if you remember playing old school Nintendo DS, which used to open like this, clamshell, that was dual screen. So this idea is like, what if you have to have that same thing while having the luxury of playing a computer game, full-fledged PC games. Now you're like, couldn't you buy Steamdeck? The reason he got started with this is because his Lenovo laptops, he did keeps using bricking it. So he was like, okay, let me look into it. Then he got an idea, is like, what if I put mechanical keyboard in a laptop? He did made it work. And in doing so, he had to buy a lot of laptops. And you're like, okay, if broken laptops, are they actually useful? Most of the time, discarded laptops generally have display issues or battery issues. Most of them, the core hardware is surprisingly intact. Like if you try 10, 3 of them will be just like, bro, just run it with external. So he got used to that. He's like, okay, I have this many laptops. He's like, what if I use it? So he's like, okay, this is the width of the laptop. So he's like the motherboard and the coolings and all that. So he's like, okay, take that. And then he found a screen that fits it. So it's like, ta-da! hyper wide, ultra wide. So basically, he figured out the folding mechanism, the battery, the touchpad, the keypad, and the numpads and all that. Numpad, I'm saying the D-pad, and then webcam. Yeah, he actually managed to put a webcam into this. That was like, damn. And you're like, okay, what the hell is this screen? I have no idea. The best guess I have is that this screen is made for a rear camera for your car when you have like either dashboard or like, a windscreen. That's the only thing where I can make sense of this. Whereas like, why do you have such a weird long ratio? So, and this reminds me of the old hardware, like back in the old days, Sony was in computers, they were making VAIO lineup. That VAIO used to make VAIO P. So this was like a passport, quote unquote, that passport sort of laptop. It reminds me of that. And again, in terms of uniqueness, in terms of usefulness, low usefulness, I will not say this is like amazing, but damn, this was complex. Like he figured something out. Oh, by the way, he actually, this is the working one. And the next one, he is actually trying to put a GPU into it, external. Like external GPU stuck on top of it. So yeah, that's like out there. So, and again, his video editing style is also out there. So either you may love it or you may be like, what the hell I'm watching? So it's a really good thing. And again, watching his video, you will learn EDP standard sucks. And again, you will understand why everybody who has to work with this, again, if you're working with a, let's just say, single board computer, EDP is a very big issue. Even you're like, hey, EDP, I can just plug it. No. You have to make sure the company is selling it. Like for example, let's say Raspberry Pi, it's good for you to buy a screen from a Raspberry Pi because they will make sure that the pin count is the same, the spacing is the same, the power signature is the same, basically what you call the impedance has been matched, so you do not have to worry too much about it. So trust me, in this one, half of the fun is figuring out what is the hell with issue with EDP connectors. So that's why I would recommend you to watch it. And I'm still waiting for him to figure out how to put a GPU into it. He did manage to do that, but he's like, okay, kernel did not support it. So let's see, it's fun. It's very fun. Like in previous one was actually useful computer. This one is far more fun. And with heading forward with this theme of fun, what if you wanted a Steam Deck, but it was not available or it was too costly where you want to live? It's like, okay, framework held in. Now, like, do you need it? If, again, let's say money is not an object, why would you want to do something like this rather than just buying Steam Deck? Steam Deck is a Linux machine. And while the Linux is far refined compared to any other Linux because it's a Steam OS, and again, Valve is pouring money into it, so it's actually useful. There are a lot of anti-cheat software that just do not like that idea. It's like, nope. Again, technically, you would think it's just a driver layer. No, it's the anti-cheat that is breaking most of the things. So even a company as big as Steam, as big as Valve, they cannot just go and it's like, hey, remove this. Like, nope. Again, thankfully, they did that for their own system because, again, it was their own system. But for many other games, you will be like, nope, it will just not work. So what if you could have just normal Windows? It's like, ta-da, use this. So Steam Deck did not feel like just right or just the thing you want. And it's like, okay, just buy framework motherboard, display exactly like you want. Like many people in the early days used to make this because, again, they wanted OLED display. OLED Steam Deck was not available. Or even if it is available, you may not like the resolution that is available. You may want like, hey, at least give me full HD, man. It's like, okay, buy it. If it's available in the open market, buy whatever screen that fits you. Buy 5-inch, buy 6-inch, buy 7-inch, buy whatever that fits you. So you can go YOLO on it. Put battery. You are not happy with the battery life, put a bigger battery. Or in most of the case, people are using the same battery that is coming with framework. Some of them are designing their own custom solution. If you are good with that, you can go YOLO on it. And again, framework as a company, I really like the fact that they made their motherboard and this basically the core in such a way that it will work without breaking itself. For example, in other scenarios, if you try to do this with Dell or something like that, it would be very difficult. Not because like inherently something is impossible. It's just that they have so many intrusion detection and most of them will not even boot in headless mode without too much hassle. Like older one used to work without an issue. Newer ones are like so finicky. It's like you touch it wrong. It's like, no. Intrusion detected, this detected, that detected, this has intrusion, but they tell you it's like, hey, if you want to remove it, this is where you do what you do in order to remove it. So that's why so many people are using this as an actual base of their D.I.Y portable computer projects. So this is one design, this is another design, this is another design. I've linked these two designs in the video down below, description down below. So basically you just need 3D printed case, display of your choosing, battery, and controller of your choosing. Because again, controller is very feel kind of thing. You may be like, hey, Steam Deck is awesome. Does it feel good to you? If it feels good to you, awesome, GG, have fun. But if it does not feel right to you, it does not matter how everybody else is feeling. It's like, it's your feeling that matters. So build exactly what you want. Like other people are like, hey, I am like, I'm never going back to a large dead zone of spring-based system and wiper-based system. I need Hallback. Hallback, put whatever Hall array effect system. So many people have built it. That's the another amazing part of it, that framework has sold enough of it, especially once the people who had original framework, and then after 3 years, they're like, okay, let's upgrade it. They upgrade it. Then it's like, I have this spare PCB. Let's test with it. Let's experiment with it. And a lot of them are available. And given the fact that framework actually allows you to just buy it, like, can't you buy Apple? No. Like, if you try to buy, half of the time they will not sell you. Other half of the time, they're like, can you please provide the receipt that you have actually bought it? Or is some known thing where it's like, yeah, so many people are having like batteries, they might sell you. But like at the full board display and all that, it's like, no. And again, even the technician shops, they had to sign NDAs and give a proof, like this is the IUMI number, so you are not selling it. Framework is like, bro, take it and go. You paid me, my job is done. Have fun. So a lot of people are just buying it. It's just like, ta-da. Even the guy in the last series video, he was also like, yeah, the hinge. Laptop hinges are not something that you can buy in the store, so to say. So he's like, okay, framework also sells hinges, because hinges are a moving part. So they will break sooner or later. They will break. So it's like, here's the hinges. Take it and go. I'm like, damn. So this is the amazing part of it, where it's like, hey, you have a system. Make whatever you want to make it. And again, battery, how big, how small, that's up to you. Screen, how big, how small, up to you. The touch interface, how big. And again, most of them do not like that clicky button feelings that you are going to get in Steamdeck and things like that. Compare that to keyboard switches, they're like much better. And again, even if you brick it or like excessive use, you brick it, replace it. So many people have built that. Like, it's surprisingly successful operation. And you can install Windows. If you have like certain games that only run on Windows, have fun with that. And if you're like, hey, I want to run SteamOS, wait few days, SteamOS will be pushed into mainline in few months, so to say. So this was another amazing project. And I'm like, I was shocked how many people have successfully A, started the project, B, finished it. Many of them are like Mark II, Mark III variants. I'm like, damn. Like, this is something doable for so many people. It's like mind-boggling. Now we come to the most impressive project I have seen in a very long while. It's a digital diary. Now you have to understand this. You may like, okay, why does this matter? Well, here's the deal. This is personal with me, and I'm reasonably sure many of you have also felt with this, is that what if you get distracted very easily and you have very short memory? In those sort of time, touching a mobile phone is not an idea. For example, after my surgery, I really wanted to get back into the action, really wanted to make sure that my channel is finally hitting that 1 video per day. So to make sure, I bought this. This is a kitchen timer. Basically, you just use this to, in my scenario, I set it as a 20-minute timer. So it's like, start, I keep working on it, and then it screams, ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I'm like, okay, stop. I'll wash my face and walk around and then get back to work. And I have been surprisingly more productive because of this. Now, like, do you need to buy this? Can't you just use your phone? Yes, if you have very good self-control. I do not. So if I touch my mobile phone, half an hour it will disappear. So rather than working, mobile will eat me. So a lot of people deal with this sort of thing. That's why like minimalist tools are making a comeback. So in those sort of dedicated devices, this is one thing, it only does one thing, it cannot do anything other than this. It's a really lifesaver. So this device is built on that philosophy, where it's like, hey, I want something that is digital, does help me with things, but it cannot do anything more. So basically, it inherently cannot leech my attention away. So digital diary. Now, if you are old enough, you must have remembered this era. Unfortunately, I was too young and too poor when this was in the market. I could not have bought this. Did not even knew that this existed. And now these are like a freaking bidding war or something like that. So I never got into this. I really wanted to, but such is life. Digital diary was a era before PDS became a very useful thing, and before iPhone was launched. This was surprisingly useful because it was not too expensive and it was only good for few things, and it was really good. So basically, you could type your phone book address books, and schedules, birthdays, and all that. People were like using this, like actually using this in day-to-day life. Like, this is cool for far more people than PDS, because PDS were very expensive back then. So that personal assistants were like very expensive, so people were using this, and more people use this. So this is a later variant. I think this was launched in year 2000 or something like that. It's like PC sync with 2 megabytes of memory. I'm like, damn. So you can understand this part. Like earlier one just had this and a small display. Now this is the later one. It has like a full display, so to say. And again, displays were LCD, very low power consuming. You could not watch video or play games because it was meant for to do one thing. It only did one thing. Really successful. So what if you want this, but this is not available anymore? So what if you built it? He built it. And again, Mark II variant. So Mark I, he had like resin printed buttons, and he had resin later, and it was very hard to read. This time it's like double shot. He figured out how to do double shot. And again, it's not true double shot where it was like a sign through and all that, but it's like there is a negative space in the keycaps. He put it pigments there, and then just like voila, and clear coats it. So it's not gonna wear off, which again was used to be an issue. Even in cheap keyboard, cheap laptop keyboard, and cheap laser ablated keyboard where you have like transparent plastic which just have a fully coated black ink, and then you laser ablate away. So those are not long lasting. This will be longer lasting. So somebody did that in their house, and this will outlast for surprisingly large amount of gaming keyboard. So dime. And then he has e-ink display. Inherently, it's a very slow refresh rate system. You can't do much on this. So the idea with this is like it's a very simple device. It tells you the time, it keeps your alarms, and keeps like, you know, phone book, simple things. It's not meant to like to-do list. It's a very simple to-do list, so to say. And it's running on ESP32. Nothing like, ARM Cortex and this and that. No, ESP32, take it and go. And the guy who's programming this, I'm like, holy damn. It's like, I've rarely seen people of that level of programming caliber where it's like, yeah, on a microcontroller, I can write the whole application for that OS that I myself wrote. I'm like, what the hell? So it's a completely different level. Only thing that was odd to me is like, why the heck he has an OLED and e-ink? It's like, have one or the other. It's like, he liked e-ink display, and because e-ink did not refresh very quickly, so OLED was put there. So you can be like, okay, type everything, and then just, it will type on the OLED, and once you're happy with it, then you send it to basically push it forward to e-ink. I did ask him because there is a better technology for this sort of application, which we call memory in pixel, MIP. You must have seen a new G-Shock watch that is like a very, very contrasty. You can easily read it. Yeah, that's a MIP. And some smartwatches also have that. It's memory in pixel. So basically, it's a LCD that the running current of that LCD is almost negligible. Like, it's so low that you can, if you have a smartwatch with this, the battery life instead of 2 days, it will be more than a week or sometimes a month. And it only consumes energy when you are changing something, basically exactly like e-ink. It does require some energy to keep it on. So if this will last a month, that will only last a week or so. So there is that penalty, but it's a full-fledged LCD. It has better bright, sharpness compared to e-ink. Outdoor visibility, yes, it has better outdoor visibility than e-ink, even in high contrasty scenarios. That's the whole point of, that's why G-Shock has that. So I did ask him, and he said like, he did consider that MIP. And again, the comment that I replied, a lot of people have asked is like, this would make it perfect. Why you have two displays? Just have one low energy display. And his answer was he did not like the look. He liked e-ink. Again, personal thing. That's the whole point of it, right? If I want to make this and not available, like if I want MIP displays, like make it. That's the whole point of it. I asked him, and he's like, he did not like the look of it. Second, it was too expensive. Even though it was available, it was expensive. So again, his design, his philosophy, but I'm very happy that he actually, because a lot of people have the same question. It's like, why have two displays? One better display is better. And again, it's available. Back in the days, it was not available. Now it is available. Heck, the G-Shock is rather new. It's not like 20 years ago. No, it's very new. So MIP, that's what is called memory in pixel. And again, this is the whole keyboard matrix that he built. Like, it's good. The sidebar is the touch bar. I'm like, it's really good. Like really, really good. I really would have, again, if I get the money and time or hire someone, I'll take this project. Again, fully open source. Take this project. Awesome, GG. Take this project. Just eat the ink, eat the OLED, and put the freaking MIP there. Done. Done. Oh, and the battery also is replaceable battery. So it's like, huh. It's like the lithium ion does come again. Most of the slim cameras have that, like, full-fledged replaceable batteries. So you do not have to be like, that wire batteries. It's like, it's available. We have the technology. So it's a really good, like surprisingly large amount of people who are interested. People are like, dude, take money and give me right now. Because again, if you are that kind of person who does not lose your focus, even if you are using mobile phone, I applaud you. I'm not that guy. So for me, this sort of device kind of makes sense. So, but again, it was really awesome, and holy damn, he knows how to program. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just writing this kernel. It was not efficient in Mark 1. It's not efficient. You're writing that and it was not efficient. You're like, let me make it better Mark 2. What the hell? So this was my presentation on basically second part of DIY projects. Hopefully it has inspired you. If you had any idea, go YOLO on it. If you want to copy any of these projects that suits you, go YOLO on it. Like, do not let yourself be like, I should not do it. You can do it. You can have fun and be mindful. Because of planned obsolescence, many times you can make better things. Because again, company can make better, they don't. So you can do it. So hopefully you'll have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please hit the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.